Hey everyone. So I'll be doing a brief tutorial today on how to insert graphs into your posters for the Undergraduate Research Expo. Um, Typically what sometimes ends up happening is students will create the posters in Google Slide and create their graphs in Excel and copy paste the graphs from Excel into the Google poster template. And the issue with that is when you come to print the final version onto a poster, your graphs turn out blurry, and that is because of the incompatibility between Microsoft and Google. So the video I'm going to demonstrate today is going to show you how to create those graphs inside of Google so that when you print your poster, your graphs will turn out nice and clear and visually appealing. So we'll go ahead and get started. I am currently in the Dice account and I've created a separate folder called Projects. So what you'll want to do is open this up, and right away you'll notice our 4 projects for the Undergraduate Research Expo. If you click on Poster Template Conferences, you will notice the poster size and format that our lab has used in the past. We've used this format, because we've always submitted posters to external conferences. But the Undergraduate Research Expo is an internal conference, and they have dimensions and requirements of their own. So I'm going to click out of this, and right here you'll notice Poster Template Expo. So I'm going to open this up, and you'll see that it is significantly different. And the main difference is that this poster is very long, but this is based on the requirements that they want. And if we click on File, Page Setup, you'll see that the width is 48 inches and the height is 78 inches. The website of the Undergraduate Research Expo says that your poster should not be any longer than 4 feet wide, and it should not be longer than 6.5 feet in length. I did the conversion, and so 4 feet in inches is 48, and 6.5 feet in height is 78. And so these are the dimensions that you want to work in. Anything longer than either one of these, your poster will droop off of the board. So let's stick to this 48 by 78. So you'll click Apply, and this is what you end up having. So we'll go ahead and exit out of here, and I want to demonstrate to you guys how to enter a graph into your poster. And so we'll just go with colorism for now. And if I open this up right here, you'll notice the same exact template. And so what I've done is for each of these projects, I've inserted a Poster Template Expo in all of your folders for you to begin to work in. Now, one thing I want to mention is that you are by no means married to this internal format right here. So depending on your research and the information that you're going to present, you're more than welcome to move these boxes around and have your data fit nicely. So one example that I created for you, and again, this is just an example, and we're in the counter narrative kiddos folder right now. But if I open this template up, you can see here that a different structure might probably work nicely for Chrissy. Perhaps she has a little bit more to say in her background, and so on and so forth. So you're more than welcome to structure this internal layout the way that you want. So we'll exit out of all of this. We'll go back into colorism. So next I want to show you guys how to insert a graph using Google. You'll go back into the colorism folder and you'll click New, Google Sheet. And this is where you'll be entering your data. Generally, the A column is going to be your x-axis, and the B column is going to be your y-axis, but you can change those settings later. For the sake of today, let's just do a quick example of investigating time versus speed. And I'll put those two titles as the titles of my x-axis and the title for my y-axis. And below is where I will enter the numeric data of both of these. So let's just do 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. When I'm done entering all my data, I'm going to select all, including the titles. I'm going to hit Insert, Chart, and voila! There is our graph. You can choose to customize your graph and edit your graph, but for the sake of today's video, we won't go into details about that. But one thing I do want to mention is if you're looking for a bar graph or maybe a pie chart, by clicking on column chart over here is where you can pick quite a wide variety of graphs. Okay, so now that you've entered your data and you've generated your graph, the next step is to insert this graph into your poster. You'll go back into your poster, but before we do that, I would like for you to go into Drive, into your folder, and click Refresh. Because what we've done here is we've created a spreadsheet, but Google doesn't automatically recognize that you've created a spreadsheet, and so I like to click Refresh. And there's my spreadsheet. So what I'm going to do now is rename time versus speed, and let's just say graph 1, and click OK. Now I can go back into my poster to insert the graph. I will click on Insert, Chart, and you want to click on this From Sheets. And so if we click on that, boom, you'll see the time versus speed graph 1. So you'll click on that, hit Select. And what's really important over here is that you make sure that this box, Link to Spreadsheet, is checked. So we'll go ahead and click on our graph, we'll hit Import, and voila, that is tiny. But we can make that a little bit bigger. And there you go. Now, what's cool about checking the box we did in the previous dialog that said Link to Spreadsheet is, let's say, for example, I've entered an incorrect number after finalizing my graph. It wouldn't make sense to have to recreate a brand new graph if I misentered a digit. So what I want to do is go back into my spreadsheet, and let's just say that this 5 over here was actually supposed to be a 10. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change this 5 to a 10, and you can see here in our graph, I don't know if you guys can actually see it from here, but what if I zoom in? There we go. You'll see that the 5 on the x-axis switched to a number 10. But I want this to reflect in my graph as well. So I'll go back into my graph, and you'll notice that it automatically noticed that you made an update. And so if you click on Update, and if we zoom in, you'll notice that our 5 changed into a 10 over here as well. So the beauty about Link to Spreadsheet and checking that box is that your Google Sheet and your poster will always be synced with one another. And let's say now, for example, you have another chart that you would like to insert. What you will have to do then is go back into your folder, create a new spreadsheet, and let's say we want to look at, I don't know, time versus speed again under different circumstances, and let's just say 5, 6, 9, 10. And you'll go through the same exact process by selecting all of your information, insert chart, and here you have your chart. We'll go back into the folder, click refresh, and rename this guy time versus speed, graph number 2. Okay. We'll go back into our poster, we'll go through the same process again, and we will insert chart from sheet, and Google understands that you also have a second graph that you would like to insert. And select. Make sure link to spreadsheet is checked, and click import, and there is our second graph. And the same process goes for this one as well. Any changes that you want to make to graph number 2, you'll have to go into your Excel sheet, or I'm sorry, your Google sheet, change your data. Let's do it again. So if this 5 were to be a 20, and you can also, any changes that you make to customize as well. So for example, if I would like to change the colors of my bars to red, and I'll go back into my poster, and again, it automatically sensed that you made an update, so you'll click update. Our bars are red, and our value on the x-axis is 20. And that is how you insert graphs into a Google slide. Thank you.